it's literally just, Dad, come home.
Yeah, Dad, come home.
Dad, come home. You left for milk and cigarettes, and you haven't come back. That's literally the plot of Heart Gold and Soul Silver.
And on this episode of the podcast, we discuss Pokemon villains and their associated teams. Cole, take us off.
Speaking of villains, Garrison pulled the new Charizard recently. What a bastard.
It was pretty villainous. It is a beautiful
It's villainous, and it's actually villainous, because we happened to get some packs, and he's like, hey, I'll open them with you. And I was so excited. He like got me a booster bundle. I was excited I was going to get to open Phantasmal. And then I was so fucking mad. Because I'm like, all right, he's coming over in like 30 minutes. We're going to open some packs together. It's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. I'm sitting here on this couch in my office, and I get a call. I get a FaceTime call. And I'm like, Garrison has never FaceTimed me before in my life. Why? Why is he FaceTiming me? Why now? And I'm like, there's no way he pulled the Charizard. And then he calls me on his phone, and he's like, I said, Garrison, you were FaceTiming me. I thought you pulled the Charizard. He's like, bro, I did, but my car won't let me connect. I'm like, I thought we were opening packs together. And he's like, no, fuck you. And I hate him. And I wish he would have opened that with me, because it's so fucking hype. But instead he opened packs without me, and I'm angry.
You feel better now?
Yeah, I wanted to rant about that. Anyways, bad guys.
Garrison's the worst of them all.
Yeah, the worst bad guy. But we're going to talk about some runner-ups. I think Gestus is pretty up there.
Absolutely.
Lasmine, Cyrus, I think, are three of the worst.
Oh, yeah.
Like, truly villainous people. I think the other ones are more just either selfish or...
They had some sort of...
villainous tendencies.
Hell is paved... The road to hell is paved with good intentions, or whatever the hell.
Yeah, I think that's a great definition of Archie, Maxie. I even think it partially describes Lysander.
Yeah.
And we're going to be including Sada and Turo, because Team Star isn't really a villain. They're...
You're going to tell me that Penny's a bad guy?
No.
Exactly. So...
And really, the only person who gets hurt in the entire series is poor Arvin. So...
evidence enough that they are villains. Moving on.
Yeah, and we will not talk about ZA, because Dylan has not completed it, and Jarrett would like to be here for the episode in which we actually talk over ZA, and I'm going to talk more on my thoughts of that game.
So that'll be a future thing.
Yeah, but the best place to start is always the beginning. And, well, who else do we begin with but the most iconic of them all? Giovanni.
Giovanni and Team Rocket, baby. What more can you say other than they had drip, all right? They had fear factor. They had that presence.
The moment Team Rocket showed up, you knew they meant business. Now, the grunts were a bit goofy, but the first time you saw Giovanni, you were like, oh, shit.
He carries the vibe of a mob boss, you know?
Yeah, like, importance and your...
And, like, whatever you do is minuscule to him. You know, like...
For real.
Like, he acts like he's on a whole different playing field, you know?
And he kind of is for a while. Not throughout the whole story, but definitely for a while.
That's why in lore it's so impressive that a child, beat him, you know?
Yeah, and I think there's a lot to be said about Giovanni. And should we start with the games?
Absolutely.
We'll start with the games. Giovanni's weird because we have to also talk about, in the weirdest split ever, we have to talk about both Sun and Moon and also the anime, because Giovanni in the anime is not Giovanni in the games. They're two very different characters, because Giovanni in the games relates more to Silver and Petrel in Gen 2, and Giovanni in the show is the boss of Jesse, James, and Meowth.
Yep, and that's as far as it goes. In the first games especially, he carries that, like, the first time you meet him,
yeah.
I mean, he carries that, like, weight of, well, this guy's serious.
And it actually starts out with the first town you ever go to outside of your starting town.
Not a lie. He is gym leader of Viridian.
Yeah, the moment you get to Viridian City, the gym leader is absent, and you're like, that's kind of weird. Anyways.
Yeah, even the old man, the NPC outside, is like, yeah, he hasn't been here in a long time. I wonder what he's up to.
Yeah, you kind of just leave that aside. And then, well, while we are talking about the teams, we got to focus a bit on Giovanni more. And we are going to talk about Giovanni's plan. But, so then you finally run into them in Mount Moon, where Team Rocket is trying to catch Pokemon, so they can staff all their grunts with Pokemon.
They're there to steal the fossils.
Yeah, and they're there
specifically.
The fossils specifically, but they were also there to catch Pokemon en masse.
Yes.
If you remember. Which is
Clefairies were very rare and sought after.
They were sought after, but were not gotten by Team Rocket.
Yeah.
Which, there's a whole discussion there. But it's really interesting how when you first run into Team Rocket, they're like attacking the Fossil Maniac, you scare them off, and then even though you save the Fossil Maniac, he's like, "Go die! I hate you!
They're
mine!"
Yeah, then you gotta paddle him too.
But, yeah, it's just, you're like, okay, why are these people gathering Pokemon? You don't really have, like, a goal yet.
Well, some of them, I think, say that they're trying to make money off of them. Like,
that is true, actually.
In their passing dialogue, I believe that they say that they're trying to make money.
And we'll talk about that more in the game corner, too.
Yeah, because on your way to Cerulean City, you run into a few here and there, because the Golden Nugget Bridge. That's
Nugget
Team
Bridge.
Rocket. Yeah.
Where aren't they trying to get...
They're trying to find the strongest Pokemon so they can steal them, you know?
Yeah, they like mark it as a challenge, and instead they're trying to steal your Pokemon.
And at the end of the bridge, they ask you if you want to join Team Rocket.
And you can't say yes, which makes me sad. I would love to play a game from the perspective of a villain. I think that would be a very fun Pokemon game.
Back in the day, there was a ROM hack. Can't remember what it's called. Shout out if anybody can remember what that one was called. But it was fun to play where you started as a Team Rocket grunt and played through that way.
I've never played. I vaguely remember it being talked about, but it's such an interesting point to, like, Team Rocket is very basic in the beginning. In the beginning, mind you.
Well, they're basic in the sense of they're like a simple crime gang. You know, they're just trying to make money, and doesn't matter how they do it.
Team Rocket themselves is simple. They're very selfishly motivated. They're doing what they think the boss would like.
Yep.
However, the boss is a bit of a different side. And they, like, break in and steal in a house in Cerulean, like we talked about in the regional roundtable.
Yep.
With them breaking into this dude's house and blasting a hole out the back wall. And you're like, okay, cool.
Yep. You're like, damn, okay, well, Pokemon really are terrifying forces of nature.
Yeah, and you're like, okay, cool. You go down to Lieutenant Surge's, you don't run into much there, but eventually you go back around to Lavender Town, where you run into...
None of them are named there, I believe.
None of them are named there.
But it's just it's a group of grunts, and you have to rescue
bothering
Mr.
Fuji, yeah. And you're like, why are they bothering Mr. Fuji?
Fuji's a nice, kind old man.
Yeah, and you don't know what Fuji's really done.
Well, he is the main sign. Not till you get to Cinnabar, which...
Well, yeah, you find out about that later.
You know, that's something we discussed in the regional roundtable, I believe, was...
Yeah.
Fuji's involvement in the...
Fuji and Blaine are both very involved in the creation of Mewtwo.
And which was funded by, of course, by Giovanni.
Yeah.
Simply because he wanted the most powerful Pokemon to conquer the world. That's his main goal.
But beat the most powerful Pokemon.
Which is why you meet them in Silphco later on in the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's also why they're bothering Mr. Fuji, but you don't know why they're bothering Mr. Fuji. Because they're looking for X research notes. that Mr. Fuji has.
Anything that could help them against Mewtwo.
Anything that can help them against Mewtwo. And when you go to Rocket Game Corner, that's like the first time you fight Giovanni.
Yeah.
And that's a whole different experience because suddenly Team Rocket has gone from... They run a gambling center and you're like, that's weird. And then you go downstairs, they're selling Pokemon for the gambling money. You're like, okay, this is basic Team Rocket shenanigans. But the moment you enter the secret room in Game Corner...
Basic Team Rocket shenanigans. It's pretty evil and diabolical when you sit down and think about it, man. They're
but...
straight up torturing these sentient creatures and just selling them like slaves, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's fucked up. I'm not even disagreeing.
I just like how quickly you were like, typical Team Rocket.
Yeah, but every bad guy team does that.
I guess you're not wrong, but they aren't selling them for money usually. Team Rocket's...
You're telling me that it's not feasible that every other...
Well,
they're normally stealing Pokemon, at least.
Yeah, it's not that it isn't feasible. It's that it's not explicitly stated that their main goal is to sell these Pokemon for profit to conquer the world. You know?
That's fair enough.
Giovanni's pretty evil for that. That's diabolical.
Yeah, Giovanni is just straight up your mob boss. And then
it's
when you battle him,
yeah.
He's like, you aren't going to stop my plan. It's already in motion. And you find out it is already in motion. Because he's invading Silphco.
And when you get there, you're wondering why. I mean...
Yeah, and then you don't really find out... Like, if you don't know what Mewtwo is, you aren't really sure of his plan.
None of it really all... I like how well it is structured, because none of it clicks until after you beat the game, and you get into Cerulean Cave, and you fucking finally see Mewtwo after reading about him.
Yeah,
and hearing about him.
A Cinnabar definitely helps, I think, put all those pieces together.
Yes.
Like, powerful psychic powers. And in Silphco, you find out he's trying to get the Silph Scope and the Master Ball. And you're like, okay, he's trying to catch a really powerful Pokemon. You know that much. And then you can finally go into Lavender Tower, Pokemon Tower.
Yep.
And then you can catch Ghost types because you have the Silph Scope. Which...
you learn is, as you know, everyone knows, it's the only...
Goes to super effective on Psychic.
Yep.
Because Dark didn't exist yet, and Bug wasn't that good.
You had your choice of Beedrill or Butterfree.
Yeah.
Scyther.
And Heracross wasn't a great option because he was
Heracross
part
wasn't
fighter.
there yet.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He's Gen 2.
Oh, yeah, he's
Pinsir.
Gen 2.
There was Pinsir. But there was no good... There wasn't no X-Scissor. There wasn't no...
It was Twin Needle,
U-turn.
and that was Beedrill's best move, right?
Yep, and it was his... I think that was an exclusive move for Beedrill.
Yeah. But running into then Mewtwo at the end of the game, you kind of start to get a feel for Giovanni's plan. You realize, okay, he wanted the Silph Scope so he could see Ghost types. Ghost types are super effective on Mewtwo. That would be really good against Mewtwo. And then the Master Ball would just instantly catch Mewtwo. And you start to find out all these things, especially when you go to Cinnabar and you're like looking into the cloning process. Giovanni wanted the most powerful Pokemon he could have.
Yep.
And boy oh howdy is Mewtwo the most powerful Pokemon in Gen 1. He is so good, he can clear pretty much any team with ease.
He had the highest base stat total of all Pokemon up to that point.
Yeah, and really your only trouble with Mewtwo in Gen 1 is, again, Gengar. Because there's only one
he's
Ghost
part
type.
poison.
Yeah, and that's true.
He's weak to Psychic.
Just powerful.
There was no stopping a Mewtwo back in the day.
And I think that really goes to show how good Giovanni's plan was.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
yes. Which, I know we said that the anime and video games are quite different, but in this sense they are one and the same. The Mewtwo and... I mean, if you watch the Mewtwo movie, it's the same story. It's just the lore. That's just the lore of Mewtwo, baby. You know.
Mewtwo was manufactured by Giovanni and Mr. Fuji because he's in the movie too.
Yep.
Yep. And you find out Giovanni wants to rule the world through powerful Pokemon, and when you finally beat Giovanni in that last moment, all of his drive to have the most powerful Pokemon kinda fades.
Which I love now. The last time you encounter Giovanni, of course, is in the gym when you get your gym badge.
Yeah, and
after you defeat him there, he talks about how you've helped reinvigorate his love of battling and his love for Pokemon. So he kind of stops becoming a villain then and there in the red and blue timeline, in our true, you know what I mean?
In our true timeline, that's when Giovanni's like, I'm leaving. Goodbye, crime. Giovanni is very much that redeemable character. Granted, not really, but...
he's the Thanos. You know, he fucked off and became a farmer, essentially.
Yeah, for real.
He fucked off and went back into Pokemon battling, because he talks to you...
Even your, like, Vegeta of the story.
Yeah.
Like, you're very classic villain turned good-ish again.
Turned at least normal.
Neutral.
You know?
That's a great way of putting it. And he's your very classic villain. You know, he's got his maniacal plan, he wants power, and that's kind of it.
But simple and effective, you know?
Simple and effective for a Gen 1 game.
There's a reason he's so memorable.
But he's also...
plus he's devilishly handsome.
Not now. Oak would be mad at you for cheating on him.
We're in an... I don't know how to make a joke about this to make it Pokemon related. I swing dick.
Oh, shit.
Gen 2, Team Rocket has a smaller influence.
Yeah, we were kind of looking over all of the shit when we were going, like, before the video. And boy, does Gen 2 not have a lot of Team Rocket to touch on.
I mean, the most memorable moments, one of them I completely even forgot about until we said it, and then it all came back to me. I was like, how could I forget that? That's one of the most integral parts in the early game, the Slowpoke well.
And
I forgot about it.
This is the really interesting thing. So we also do, I feel like, because we're talking about Giovanni and Team Rocket, we have to talk about Silver. You do find out that Giovanni had a kid.
Yep.
And you're like... whoa, that's kind of interesting. And if we talk about the manga, there's a whole other thing with Giovanni.
Yep.
Because he tries to kill the main character, freezes him to half to death. That's why Red is
mute. I feel like one episode we could do just a whole episode on Pokemon manga almost.
Oh,
because it is a whole nother animal. It's brutal even.
You thought villains were bad in the games.
Man. It makes Legends Arceus look like a walk in the park.
It makes every Pokemon villain look like a walk in the park. Hell, it makes good guys villains. Remember the Elite Fourcast terrorists.
This is true.
It's a whole thing. Yeah.
Gen 2's prominence with Team Rocket shows that I guess it is very effective in the storytelling because it's showing that they've lost their grip. They've lost their power.
Yeah, they do a really good job, and Petrel is leading them this time. And Petrel really doesn't know what he needs to do. He's the villain without a direction, but he knows...
they're looking for their leader.
They're looking for their leader. And the first time you run into them is in Slowpoke Well, so they can sell all the Slowpoke tails to make money to fund their operation, because Giovanni, their giant mastermind of money... Say what you will about Giovanni, but his operation was effective.
He was a damn good businessman. I mean...
oh, yeah, he was a
He lived lavishly.
He lived lavishly. He had a giant organization with a whole bunch of people under him. He could make them move. And that's backed up by the anime, even.
Yes.
Where...
absolutely. Even to this day, it shows Giovanni in a position of great power and wealth.
Yeah, like a skyscraper in a city... talking down to Jesse and James, just the grunts. And that version of Giovanni never gives up on crime. He doesn't. And there's a whole theory as to the reason why Jesse and James aren't fired is because somehow they always end up being involved in the key moments of saving the world, which I really enjoy. It's that, they're terrible at their job, but how many apocalypses have they been prevented in involving? I can't make money if the apocalypse happens.
There's going to be no world to rule if there's no world left over.
Exactly. And I love the theory that the reason Giovanni keeps them around is because, well, they're useless until the moment they are the most useful.
The planet being gone is bad for business, baby.
Exactly. Ain't no business to run if there ain't no business to make.
Exactly. There's nothing to sell people, no people to sell to. What are you selling?
Exactly. Exactly. So Giovanni is a businessman at heart. And I feel like that's a lot of the fun of Giovanni. Is he's your very classic villain. He carries that aura of like, I'm classy, I'm powerful, and you know it.
Yeah. I think that's what makes him so popular with everyone too. Is he has that, he carries that air of sophistication and arrogance, you know. That old world.
He has that perfect amount of it too. Not like that overblown arrogance that a lot of the other villains have. Giovanni has just the right amount because he has a perfect...
Well, he's able to back it up, you know, for the most part.
Yeah, and I will say, between all the other Pokemon protagonists and Giovanni, the legendary Pokemon have nothing to do with his undoing.
Yeah. No, it's
you have to do
entirely your doing, yeah. Your actions are what stop him.
Yeah, it's not his own arrogance. His plan was going to work. That's why you're able to catch Mewtwo.
Yep.
Because you ruined his plan. Giovanni was a well-thought-out criminal. Like, he was the success. And that's such
Too bad a 10-year-old with a little yellow rat stepped up and stopped him.
A 10-year-old shows up and throws you, God, do you believe now? We recorded a video before this, don't worry about it.
Stay tuned to catch our exclusive episodes.
That talk aside, it's really just Giovanni had a good plan. And now that the plan maker...
And the resources to execute it, too.
The resources to execute it. But now all that's gone. And Team Rocket's like...
struggling to put the pieces together. Almost.
What do we do? Where's the boss? Like...
That is the big thing. Even at the end of their story... I'm sorry to just keep interrupting.
Keep going.
At the end of their story at Goldenrod Tower, even when that's their penultimate idea, is to take over the radio tower and send out a broadcast in hopes that Giovanni hears it.
Yeah, that he'll come back.
Yeah.
And he doesn't answer. They've been broadcasting for what you... they really make it sound like it's been days they've taken over the radio tower for. Like, you go into Rocket Game Corner, this time in Mahogany Town in the Lake of Rage, and... You realize that they have all these electrodes to store up power, and this is all just to run their own radio signal, but it's not working. Because they're still trying to reach out, because that tree that fries in Mahogany Town was meant to be a receiver, but it's not big enough.
Yep.
So they go take over Goldenrod Radio Tower, just to reach out to Giovanni. That is the extent of Petrel's plan.
It's like they're desperate in need of guidance, you know?
Yeah, and...
like they're lost without Giovanni, which of course they kind of are. I mean, like you just said, what was their goal?
They had no goal.
We need to make money so we can build a radio tower. Our radio tower isn't working. Let's go take the one in town.
Yeah, and it's literally just, Dad, come home.
Yeah, Dad, come home.
Dad, come home. You left for milk and cigarettes, and you haven't come back. That's literally the plot of Heart Gold and Soul Silver.
Kill John Lennon. Do this.
And you know what the best part is? The game foreshadows itself with Silver saying, Dad, come home.
Yep.
Except Silver doesn't want his dad back. And I believe...
well, he grows past the evil tendencies by the end of the game. Because he grows alongside you because he sees that, obviously being raised by Giovanni and Team Rocket, he's more concerned about a Pokemon's power and what it can bring him.
Mm-hmm.
By the end of the game, he sees that doesn't matter. It's the bond you grow and yada yada blah blah blah.
Exactly.
Yada.
Like, Silver really does grow and change throughout the game, but that's because he's getting a fresh perspective on life. You know, he breaks into Elm's lab because he wants a powerful Pokemon. You know, and that's how he gets his starter. Because he steals the other Pokemon.
Yep.
And why? Because that's how you do it. That's how you start your Pokemon journey. And it's just the evidence that Giovanni was the only one who knew what he was doing. And it kind of all falls to the rest. And I would argue, of all the villains, Giovanni's plan. So let's talk over their plan.
His was technically the most successful.
Giovanni's was the most successful. And I'd argue the most well thought out.
Yeah. I would definitely agree with that statement.
It wasn't reaching for godhood or ruling the world, like, inherently through people. It was instead Giovanni went,
I have a business plan.
Yeah, like, and if
that
anyone
will
doesn't
give me money and power.
Yeah, and if anyone doesn't do what I say, I have the most powerful Pokemon in the world to stop you.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Huh. Yeah, I guess, I never really did think of it like that. Giovanni's plan, as simple as it was,
is perfect.
It really was foolproof until you step in.
Yeah, because other people aren't as strong as Giovanni, and your story is obviously becoming strong and becoming part of the, like, beating the Elite Four and all of that.
Becoming the champion.
But I think that's also what helps Gen 1 feel like... The other villains, I feel like your accomplishment of beating Giovanni in Gen 1 is so much more powerful than the other ones. Because you are now beating the strongest gym leader.
I think our opinions on that may change as we get further down this line.
That's true, but...
I understand what you mean.
Like, Giovanni's core is still very much in your journey as well.
Yes.
He was a gym leader, but he wants to be the strongest. And he needs Mewtwo to do that. And I think his plan is probably the most well thought after. And also, I would just love to say, as a small note that I want to point out, Giovanni may be a ground-type trainer, but he has both Nidoking and Nidoqueen, which are both weak to Mewtwo.
That's because Giovanni, the gym leader, when you go to battle him in his gym, he talks about how, like, his experience with you has changed him and how he's gone back to just using his favorites. That implies that Nidoking and Nidoqueen truly are just some of his favorite Pokemon,
That's true, and I think Giovanni is right. We all need to go back to using our favorites. Because, yeah, competitive's fun, but I feel like when you make a competitive team out of your own favorite Pokemon...
It's so much more rewarding.
It really is. But,
how about we move on to Gen 3?
Gen 3, oh boy. It's the
Archie
boys.
and Maxie.
Every time I think of Archie, I think of the comic that first came out. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
And I'm sure there's a percentage of people out there that don't know what we're talking about, that's painful.
There's a comic that released as of Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire where it shows the two teams in their planning rooms. And it's Maxie up at this whiteboard, and he's like, and we need the energy, and there's all these charts and graphs, and it's just, okay, and then everyone, like, golf claps at the end. And the second one pans to Team Aqua, and it's just Maxie. You see this fish? I'm gonna wrestle it! And that's the end. Which is such a way over characterization of them, but in
a way, it's true.
In a way, it's very true.
At least for their remakes.
And in their personalities.
Even in their originals.
In their personalities, it's very obvious. And both of their plans were well thought out to a point. There's one major plot hole in them both.
Well, Giovanni had the same flaw, too. They underestimated how powerful these Pokemon truly are, Especially because...
I would argue Giovanni
case,
didn't, though, at the second time around.
Well, that's true. That's why he wanted the Master Ball.
The first time around, well, that didn't go well for him. But
well, and that's the difference between them and...
Archie and Maxie.
Is because there's no second time around. You make this mistake once and the world is literally destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Emerald. I have to bring up Emerald because you have to get Rayquaza involved to literally stop it,
Yeah, that was the major plot hole in their plans. As we said, Giovanni still wanted a world to rule. Archie and Maxie also wanted that. Just
didn't think about how they were gonna get there. They just thought of, let's just do it.
Their favorite sentence is learn by doing.
Yes.
Oh, boy. So, honestly, their plan up until their oh shit moment is actually pretty good.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm going to go get the deity that created the ocean, that created the land, and I'm going to make more of it. Why not?
Like...
That's a decent plan.
I won't lie, of the two...
You should have also realized that something was going to go amiss. I mean...
Well, yeah. Of the two, what was Archie thinking? Why is more... Like, isn't Archie's whole argument it's better for Pokemon?
Yes.
Oh, and Maxie says it's better for people. And Pokemon. That's the difference. But I'm not going to lie. I don't think Archie cared about people that much.
No. I don't think either of them did, if you really want my honest opinion. They pull, like...
Maxie's at least was more based in the idea of we're running out of room on
land for expansion. He said 7 out of 10 too much water.
That's such a meme. Maxie at least goes, hey, I'm going to build out more land, and it makes sense.
Absolutely. Humans need land, you know.
You know, if the
Humans
very
and Pokemon
American
need
approach.
land.
Manifest destiny, even the ocean.
Yeah, it's ours now.
But let's see. So you run into them in the woods. They're trying to steal Pico the Wingull.
Yep.
Because they want the old man to ship them around. They block the Whismur Cave, so the region's a little more cut off.
They're in Stone...
Yeah, the Stone Museum.
Incorporation, Devin Stone.
Yeah, they're threatening Steven's dad.
Yep.
And that's...
Which in the remake is where you get your Mega Stone. I love that. Your Mega Bracelet.
Which, Megas do change quite a bit about this game.
God. The remakes changed enough about the story to make it just feel more complete. You know, anybody that's played the originals and the remakes knows.
Other than Mauville City. That's painful. Mauville City was so bad.
Still don't want to talk about it. It's been fucking 10 years. Still don't want to talk about it.
It's been 13, actually.
Shut up.
maybe 12.
The remakes, otherwise, for the most part, vastly improved on what was already there.
Yeah, they did a great job.
Actually, happy birthday. The James just turned 22 or 23, something like that.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
November 21st, 2002, they released in Japan. Ruby and Sapphire.
Happy birthday, Ruby Sapphire. Woo! Happy birthday! But going from there, the story finally starts to deviate between Aqua and Magma. In Emerald, you have to stop both. And then in Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, you actually work with the other team to stop
That's how it works in the original, too.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
It's been so long since I played the original. I need to sit down and play it again.
Do yourself a favor, bust your Game Boy Advance back out.
Bing!
I'm telling you, anybody who has one at home,
open up your
break that bad boy back out.
Well, I recently played through Fire Red, which is why I'm like more fresh on that right now.
Do yourself a favor, run through Ruby Sapphire, whichever game you have. You'll thank yourself. I'm gonna run through
Sapphire. All right, you've convinced me. Anyways, you either go to the ship museum in Rustboro.
I mean, the music, dude. When you battle Archie or Maxie for the first time in Ruby and Sapphire and hit you with that... You know what I'm saying, dude? That shit is too fire.
And you wonder why I've made you sing short.
It's too good.
It's peak. Emerald sound, like, if we're just going to talk about Emerald really quick, like, the trumpets being the main part of it is such an interesting little, like, thing that's happening with it. I think there's so much to be said for that. It's such an interesting sound bite.
And it just fits the Game Boy.
It does.
And the remake did a good job of, like, making it work.
We're getting so off track.
Absolutely. But... I was on track, sort of, by saying the music when you battled Maxie.
That's true, Archie. And then we started talking about everything else.
Speaking of battling them, though, the first time you battle them,
Maxie, or on the mountain.
Or in the base.
Yeah, either on Mount Chimney or in the ship museum in Rustboro.
Yep, and man, oh man, is it, like, kind of tense, because you're like... Oh shit, this is the big bad, this is the guy.
Yeah, and you run into him much earlier than you did Giovanni, which I think was...
Pretty neat. I think it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, you technically run into Petrol earlier than those two, but Petrol is kind of still looking for his dad.
Exactly. These are the big bads. I mean, these are the dads.
These are the dads, and they're still here, and ready to go.
And they fight you more than once, you know. They're not scared.
They are not scared, and they repeatedly beat you into the ground. So then, as they're kind of looking through their plan, they realize, hey, we can take over the weather center and, like, start our plan already, and maybe that'll make our legendary Pokemon happy. Well, that doesn't work out too well because you kick them out of the weather center and walk away with a free cast form.
I was going to say, and you get a free cast form out of the whole ordeal. After that, isn't that when you meet them in Mount Pyre, the
you meet
home equivalent of Pokemon Tower?
Which is so... I always forget about Mount Pyre. It's so...
Because that's where they steal the red or blue orb.
The red or blue orb, which I'm not going to lie. Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire did an important job of making the red and blue orb make sense. You know what didn't do a good job? Ruby and Sapphire. They were just there. And it was the opposite color, which I get was like, ooh... But
they didn't explain it much more than it contains the ancient power of Kyogre and Groudon.
It's sitting here pondering my wizard orb.
Yeah,
that was
especially the old art sprite in the game.
Oh,
like if
God.
you look in your key items, it's literally just a blue or red ball. Like
it's so
no detail to it, and I'm not.
I have such a gripe with it, but the anime actually used it. And
I think that's where the remakes got their idea for their,
for the primal forms, yeah.
I think the idea had always been there. It just was unfeasible in the original Game Boy.
Yeah, it was a whole thing.
Well, 25 years ago,
Yeah, that's true. But going into Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, the plots are kind of the same, but I think then you finally go to Lily Cove, and you run into their secret hideout, and you fight them, and they're like, we're going to do it. We're going to have our plan to destroy the world. Well, save the world, sorry.
Yeah, it's their idea. It's never just, it's always their idea of saving the world.
I don't know about Cyrus, I'll be real.
No, he wants to remake the world.
Yeah, he wants to destroy the old world first. But we'll get into that in a minute.
He wants to be God.
Yeah, that's a whole nother thing.
We're getting into that soon.
Don't worry, I have a lot to say about Cyrus. But then they kind of just go and they're like, woke up my legendary, and the world is ending. And I like Emerald's version of it best.
When they both are like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, they're just...
I like Ruby and Sapphire too, though, because the one that you've been working with, Ruby or Sapphire, say it's you have Sapphire and you
working with Maxie in order to stop Archie.
Archie's like, oh no, what a fool I have been, Jesus Lord, and then Maxie's like, yeah, what did I tell you, dumbass?
Yeah, and I do enjoy the fact that they have some sort of relation to each other. I think that's really fun. I think in the legendary terms, I like it better because it shows that you quite literally have to get the Guardian of the Sky to stop the other two. But yeah. I think you're right in the Ruby Sapphire version of, I do like that the other goes, dumbass.
Listen here, dumbass.
For real. It's just Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and then you have to go pick up the pieces. I mean, even the 8th gym leader, who you haven't even fought yet, is
can't do anything.
He's like,
Yikes,
you got
bro.
this one, right? You got this one. Right
Yikes,
on,
bro.
you.
That sucks. I'm gonna keep being the 8th gym leader.
He said, "I'm gonna be in there."
What's that? You're 10 years old.
You got this.
Some of you may die, but that is a sacrifice I am willing to make.
But after that, you pretty well don't see them anymore for the rest of the game. That kind of solves their stories.
And then
because they realize their hubris at the end. And they always do.
Yeah, and then at the end of the game, in Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, you actually battle, this time, the one who's been helping you all this time when you get to the Battle Frontier, and you get their Mega, which is really cool. I got Mega Sharpedo, you got Mega Camerupt. Ton of fun. I genuinely really enjoyed that you actually still do get to battle the other team leader. I thought that was such a neat little line to draw.
It would be $60 DLC in these days. That's all I'm saying.
Overall, I think Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, I think Archie and Maxie are kind of lower on the rungs than the rest of them.
Yeah.
They left their brains at home. They kind of had an idea and just went for it, and they're kind of really fumbling around.
Gotta give them an A for effort, though, because they certainly do try.
They do try. And technically, if you don't...
Sorta it works.
If you don't do anything, they succeed, and that's evident in Rainbow Rocket, but... I really want to know what happened to them. I really want to know. I gotta know, man.
Well, they thought it was a good idea, I guess.
Yeah, but either a world without the oceans or Waterworld the movie.
That's it. It's just Waterworld.
That's such a bad movie.
Or Dune. It's Waterworld or Dune.
Yeah, your future is Waterworld or Dune. It's just Maxie. Fear is the mind killer.
God damn it, dude. And on this episode of the podcast, I retired.
It's okay, I retired last episode. Oh, shit. Overall, I'm going to give Archie and Maxie an A for effort and nothing else.
Yeah,
because literally everything they do in the game has no point until they're like, I'm going to steal an orb.
I'll give them a B for creativity because they are the first ones to try and steal gods. I got to give them that.
That's true. Giovanni at least created his own.
That's true. That's true.
But moving on. Hi, Cyrus.
Gen 4.
Oh, boy. Cyrus is interesting.
What to be said about this guy?
Cult leader?
Genocidal maniac. Potential murderer.
No, cult leader who believes in the shtick he's selling.
Yeah.
That's the real part.
The guy that drank the Kool-Aid, you know what I mean? I can't remember his name.
Oh, yeah, drink
Somebody
the Kool-Aid.
out there will know.
Don't drink the Kool-Aid, by the way.
Drink the Kool-Aid.
I promise there's not poison in it.
It's grape flavored.
It's grape flavored. It's Grimer. In Pokemon World, it's Grimer.
Well, I'm sure if you took a drink of Grimer, you'd probably be pretty fucked.
Oh, God.
So,
Cyrus believes that anyways.
I was going to say, Cyrus is the guy making you drink the Grimer.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. Starting at, like,
pretty much when you start
Verity,
the game, right?
Because it's Verity, Valor, and Acuity.
Yeah.
And Acuity is Snow Point. Valor is the lake that blows
Snow
up.
Point.
Valor is the lake that blows up. And Verity is where you start your game. And you run into Cyrus just kind of staring into the water.
Staring wistfully, pondering.
I think he's the villain you meet earliest in the series.
Yeah.
Because you meet him, like, immediately.
But it's also the first time in the series it really feels like it almost gives you a choice. Because it feels like he's trying to tempt you the whole time.
Oh,
like he's trying to sway you to his...
Cyrus is really like, look at my world vision.
Yeah. Think of what the possibilities are.
And he does a great job of selling this pitch, because Cyrus is the first one where his grunts aren't in the full loop, is the thing. He's pitching them one thing where we can create a new, better world, and at the end, Cyrus is like, I will be the god of this world.
Yeah, well... You would almost assume that his followers just would think that or would want that because, like...
Yeah, he's the one, like, I'll create a new, better world, and they're like, we'll join him, Cyrus plans to kill you, too, dude.
He is very cult leader-ish in that aspect, though, where he's leading the lambs to the slaughter, you know?
Yeah, he for real just wants... Everybody wants to rule the world, but Cyrus especially. Oh, boy. Wow, what a maniacal villain. And Cyrus also has, like, generals that work under him, which is the first time we're introduced to that concept.
Yep.
You go to... So, starting where you do. You leave Jubilife
Actually,
City.
not true. There are two in Ruby and Sapphire. There's the chick from...
Aren't they Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, though?
They're in the originals, too.
Okay.
There's the chick for... Team Aqua and the dude from Team Magma.
Oh, you're right. They each have one general, though. Cyrus has 3.
Yes.
And, oh boy, are they as cult leader-ish as you'd hope. Because...
Yeah, no, they literally changed their names to be, like... Roman gods, right?
Yeah,
named after the planets.
Yeah, there's a whole thing going on there, and they're like Team Aqua and Team Magma and even Team Rocket are kind of just like, we're part of this team. Team Galactic, through every line in the game, you're like,
I mean, they all wear the same haircut.
That's the real thing. Like, even the Team Rocket and Team Aqua and Team Magma, while they do have the same clothes, they have variation in outfits. But, like, the guys and the girls look almost identical unless it's the generals. They've got all dyed hair. Like, that's where you really start to get into the weird stuff. They are full-blown cult members.
They're culty.
They've got weird spacesuits on. There aren't even, like, normal clothes. That's the other thing. Rocket, Magma, and Aqua you can kind of excuse because they're fairly normal clothes, just a bit more thuggy.
Yeah, and you can see where they draw inspiration from other things.
Yeah, you know? Like pirates for Team Aqua, scientists for Team Magma. It's a whole thing. Where the fuck is Cyrus getting his outfit design? From space aliens?
Space!
Oh my god, Pim, this changes literally everything.
Oh my god, there's the dome, Pim!
There's the dome! The dome!
We have to take this to our graves.
But yeah, so you run into them in Jubilife, and they're trying to steal all of Professor Oak's research. And that's the other thing about Cyrus.
He's calculated.
He's got that Giovanni level calculation, but now with insanity.
I was going to say, we said Giovanni had a well thought out plan. Cyrus definitely is on that. He's up that tier list. Because, like, he planned on capturing the Lake Guardians. He planned out getting the red chain. He planned out getting the gods. And
yeah, you do actually have to stop Cyrus. Well, except for Giratina.
I would say Platinum. Giratina takes it into his own hands.
Yeah, Giratina really...
He's like, I'll solve this problem. Zoink!
Yeah, you're going to hell, bro.
Yeah, you know.
But no.
Welcome to hell, motherfucker!
It's such an interesting dichotomy between them. Because Cyrus is like full-blown evil. He decides, I am searching after research. He tries to take over the power plant to fund all the Valley Windworks via Mars and the Perugly, the Nuzlocke Ender, if you've ever played the games. They try to take over the power plant because they want access to all the power grids. So he has enough power to make the red chain. He needs that. He knows what he's about. He's after the red chain. Then you go into Eterna City, where they try to take over the place there, but you also find out that this is where they're trying to threaten Cynthia's grandma, and they're like trying to learn about the statue, and they want all the information on everything. And then going through Mount Coronet, you meet Cyrus again, and he's like, you know, wouldn't the universe be better? I think you could join us. You could make the world a better place too.
Eterna City has banger music too. It hits you with that boom boom. Yeah, dude. Cornet.
Dude, it took over my brain. You can't just start with Eterna City. And you can't do that to me. Like, I just felt my brain get taken over. Especially once you get the Explorer's Kit, you spend your entire life in Eterna City. Anyway.
Mount Coronet has some pretty banger music, too. It hits you with that. Yeah, something like that.
Oh, God. Gen 4 music is peak. I love Gen 4 music. Moving on.
You find Cyrus in Mount Coronet.
Yeah, and he's like, join my cult. Be a part of it. Cults are good. Be my friend. Take over the world with me. Recreate reality. Destroy everyone.
And then you're like, whoa.
You're like, Cyrus, what's happening here, bro? And we're skipping over Looker. I love Looker, but I need a whole episode to talk about Looker. He shows up in Jubilife. He helps you out when you get to Veilstone.
He's worth an episode on his own.
I think Looker is very worth an episode.
He shows up throughout multiple games in the series, so...
Yeah, well, also, he's one of the main characters of Generations.
That's true. That's true.
The short show. So we'll talk about Looker later. Trust me, he is my favorite character. I understand how very important he is. But really, we only have the opportunity to talk about him in X and Y as a very important part of the plot. Looker kind of just helps you do everything you do. Like, he helps you in Jubilife, stop the people trying to steal Professor Rowan's research. Then you go to Veilstone, where you're at, and I don't remember what they've stolen in Veilstone, I forgot already. But Looker's like there looking into things. And then you leave, and you head down to Lake Valor, where Grunt's yelling about a bomb. And you chase him, and you chase him, and you chase him, and there's no bomb. Yet. And you're like, what? I also wonder, I don't remember the interaction with that Grunt very much, but he's screaming about a bomb. Like, get away from me. There's a bomb. And you, or like, there's been a bomb going off, I think he tells you. And I really wonder if that Grunt briefly traveled in time. Interesting little fact. Anyways, I could be misremembering entirely, too. Then you go on to really not much else until you get to Canala City, where, again, they're raiding the library for information. Oh, I skipped such a very important part. How could I skipped Celestic Town. Or, no, Celestic Town's on the way to Snow Point. Never mind.
Yeah.
So, Canala, they blow up Lake Valor. Just blow it up. The entire map shakes. You're like, what the hell happened? Because you're with Rowan, Dawn, and Barry, and they're like,
and when you get there, and you see the Magikarp just flopping around.
And Jupiter, is it Jupiter? I don't remember. It's either Jupiter or Saturn standing there like, we blew up the lake. And you're like, why?
Well, there's a very obvious reason why, okay? They
blew it up.
Why.
Yeah, I guessed.
I blew up
Well, they were trying to scare out Yuxi, or not Yuxi, that's
Azelf.
That's Azelf. No, Azelf was the first lake, that's Mesprit. Because that's why Mesprit wanders around the map.
I thought Mesprit was the first one, because that's why it wanders.
I thought... I gotta think about Arceus. I know Yuxi is in the north.
It's up by Snow Point.
I thought Azelf was the first cave.
I could have swore it was the second one.
No, Azelf is... One. Oh, you're right. Azelf is the first cave.
One's Mesprit.
Yeah, because...
it's the wandering one.
It's your emotions, the start of the journey, and... Oh my gosh. There's a whole thing there. I can't talk about the music in Gen 4. I can't wait for the Gen 4 episode.
You know, the cave, when you're in the cave.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying. You know what I am saying, huh?
Do you know what I am saying? Oh, shit, Dad, I got tons of bitches.
I love butters.
Do you know what I am saying?
Okay, anyways. We just started talking about South Park. We're so off track. We're only in Gen 4. We got 4 more generations to go. Anyways, Lake Acuity, that's where Jupiter is. She's trying to steal Yuxi. They get the red chain. And now this is where I think Platinum makes an addition that I really like. I like Platinum's story better.
Everyone does.
You head into their city, their base in Vermilion City. And this is where you realize Cyrus really does lead a cult. He's full-blown giving a speech up on a stage down to all of his minions, like, we're going to remake the world. We're going to make it better in my image. And you're like, why? Full-blown, I don't know if Cyrus fell for his own hype or he just never was completely there to begin with.
He fucking believed it full-heartedly always, dude. He just thought that was his move, He was the move. That's what he thought. He thought he was him.
For real. And I also feel like this is a brief time to talk about. Cyrus is weird, and then you go up. We'll get to that. You go up to Spear Pillar. Cyrus tries to summon the gods. You have the double battle against. I think it's Mars and Jupiter.
Yeah.
And then you stop them. You stop Giovanni from getting the red chain and Diamond and Pearl. In Platinum, Giratina goes, bye, and sends him to hell.
And then you and Cynthia just decide to climb in after him.
Yeah, you decide to climb in after him, and he's trying to control Giratina. And then you catch Giratina, and Cyrus is just like, I'm staying here forever. Goodbye. And you're kicked out of the distortion world.
He said, I'm bored of this. Goodbye. Fuck you.
Goodbye. Fuck you. Cyrus, overall, what a
very good
maniac.
villain. Very
good villain. I will agree. But definitely the
most, like,
out there. Lysander's pretty out there, too.
This guy's downright fucking psychotic, though, because at least Lysander's like, I'm just going to blow up the region so then, like, in time it can return back to its natural state.
And, like, I'll be immortal to rule over it, which there's a whole plot there. But Cyrus is just, like... I won't lie. I wonder what part of Cyrus's plan that involved him unmaking the universe and then rebuilding it involved him not unmaking himself.
Yeah. He thought he was God. Again, he thought he was him.
Cyrus is full-blown...
delusional.
Nuts. We do have a few other completely nuts characters. Well, we have one... we have one more completely nuts character. That's Gen 7, though. On to Gen 5, where you run into a really interesting...
Team Plasma, baby.
Team Plasma. And then... That's a really interesting dichotomy, because now we have to talk about Team Over 2 games.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, we do. And it starts, I think, best with that when you first get out of your starter town, Gestus is leading, like, a public speaking. That's the thing about Gestus. Gestus is very public in what he does. The others have all been more maniacal, criminal even. Gestus is very like, here's the grand showing. And
he's got panache.
He's got panache, and he's also very like political about how he does things, which is also shown via the Seven Sages.
He makes me think of Hitler.
Yeah, honestly, tyrant like wants to rule the world.
Yeah. Gestus is very Hitler-esque, though.
Me to myself, thanks, Satan.
Oh, God,
that's
dude.
probably getting cut. This episode's already so long.
This is what happens when we record at, like, 1 in the morning, dude.
Yeah, this is bad. But no, Gestus is very political in the way he does things. Like, very public speaking, talking to the people, trying to convince them to free their Pokemon, let them live free. And he's actually selling a pretty good bargain on the surface. He's like, let's live in harmony with Pokemon. And then you run into your first Team Plasma grunts. And something's a little off. They're like, let's get a control of this Munna to make people dream about forgetting their Pokemon. You're like, all right, you're pretty inspired, but that still feels...
That's pretty villainous. You're
that's like mind control, bro.
You're like, that's the flavor of evil.
Yeah, that's a little flavored evil, but maybe you're a little less evil. And then they steal a little girl's Pokemon. And you're like, oh, okay, we're back to the villain shenanigans. All right.
This is Team Rocket all over. How many times do we got to teach you this lesson, old man?
But then they go straight to Team Galactic levels because they blow a hole in the second gym's museum and steal the fossil skull. And you're like, so early, so violent.
Domestic terrorists all the way through.
Yeah, no, they are full-blown militarized terrorists. They're, like, going through, they're stealing everything they can. They're like, we're going to use this for our evil plan. And then you stop them in the forest, and they aren't. Then Almost dropped the mouse.
Plus, he has... Getsus just has one of the, like, most diabolical plans. Steal everyone's Pokemon away, so then he's the only one...
With Pokemon, yeah.
So that nobody can stand against him.
But no, Gestus is very, like, evil-coded. Like, manipulative, diabolical. That was the thing about the other guys. Cyrus was a bit insane, but he still was more underhanded.
Yeah, he was like here's...
publicly committing crimes and being like, yeah, but I'm gonna remake the world, so what does this matter anyway?
Yeah, that's pretty...
That was his delusion. Gestus is like, I didn't do that. What are you talking about? These Team Plasma people. He has such an... Like, in my mind, his voice is that of a drawl of an older man, but I would have nothing to do with these people.
He does seem like he would have like I don't know, that sort of gentlemanly like cadence to him. Feels like he presents himself very
public
poshly.
Speaking. Posh. He's wearing robes and has 7 sages that follow him everywhere. And
I mean, he convinced N that he's like
a king, and he convinces N that he's in charge, which is wild, because that's not true.
Getsus's like most evil and strongest power is his ability of manipulation.
Yeah. Cyrus was the ability to get people to listen. Archie and Maxie, I really don't know what
They had strength, raw strength.
Raw strength, okay, maybe. Again, I think they're definitely the weakest planned of them.
Absolutely.
And Giovanni, I think Giovanni genuinely not only had one of the better plans, but had the best organization to be a part of.
Yes. He definitely had all the resources and stuff.
Definitely had everything you needed. Gestus really couldn't give a fuck about you. Actually, Team Aqua and Team Magma would have been no, because then the world ends. Never mind.
Yeah.
There's always that what if of the world ends. Oh my gosh. Anyways, moving on. Finally you get to the point where you stop them in the forest. Then you run into the 7 sages who are trying to fight Berg and convince people to free Pokemon, trying to, like, force them into releasing their Pokemon. Which is just weird, because I think especially in the games, this becomes such, like, a what thing? Because releasing your Pokemon in the past has meant losing them forever. Like, it's a gameplay mechanic.
Yep.
And I think that also does really hit hard of like, I'm not gonna... No, what do you mean? These are my friends. Get away.
Exactly, you know?
It's like...
So, as a kid, it really helped...
drive home the thought that this isn't something I want.
Exactly, and I'm sure nobody else wants this either, you know?
And yeah, I think that helps lend a lot of credence to it. Then you move into... Then you move into leaving there and going to Nimbasa City, where you run into N the first time. And this is where you find out N believes he's like the hot shit, and that he is going to control the legendary dragon Pokemon, and he will rule the world peacefully. But he doesn't know that Gestus is manipulating him yet. You know, you can't blame the kid.
No, I mean, he was raised by this guy.
Well, he was raised by Pokemon and then by Gestus.
He was essentially groomed into this position, though.
For real. And there's a whole discussion about N and why I think he's important, but again, you have to finish the A.
Everyone's favorite twink.
Everyone's favorite twink.
Did I call it with fuck... God, that's a discussion for later.
I really want to know where that's going.
Anyways. Getsus. And convinces N that he's a king.
Convinces N that he's king. Like, he's destined to be king. Which, again...
I mean, granted, N was able to talk to Pokemon.
N was able to talk to Pokemon, and the king supposedly had the ability to do that. There's a whole theory around this.
Did I call it?
I can't tell you.
I think I called that shit.
Anyways,
Gligar!
Gligar, yeah. No, we'll talk about him later. We are so off track of this episode. It's so bad.
Well, I never played Black and White, to be fair, so I'm a little, like, in the dark with the plot of the first Black and White.
And all right, so I'll quick abridge the beginning half. So then you go to Driftvale, and in Driftvale, they're, like, trying to force everyone to release their Pokemon by gathering a large mob in the cold storage. And then Clay's like, I have a gun.
He said, hey, check this out.
And he's like, fair point, good day.
What do you think
the cowboy has a gun. Not actually what happens. Clay has an Excadrill, though, and that in Gen 5, that's damn near as scary.
That's the same thing. They gave him a Mega. Yeah.
I don't know if they gave him a Mega. They kind of cursed him. Anyways.
We had that discussion already.
Yeah, we had that discussion. But then you go to Skyla City, and N is like, I'm going to make you... He finally... Like, N finally has that... That took way too long to register you said that. This is such a shit episode.
Woo! Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Skyla City. Take us
this
from
is
the
where
top.
N kind of talks about how Pokemon suffer under people, because he's witnessed it. But it's the first time N's starting to see that maybe Pokemon don't necessarily suffer under people, because he talks to your Pokemon. And he's like, hey, you're pretty cool, man. But I still think you should release them. Then he's like, I'm gonna befriend the magic dragon on top of the tower, and I'm gonna ride it into the sunset. And he does. That's all that happens. He literally goes up the tower outside.
Yeah, to be fair, I mean, he wasn't wrong.
Yeah,
he wasn't lying to us.
The wildest bullshit ever of, I'm gonna befriend the magic dragon on top of the tower, ends up being true. And you're like, oh. Okay. I guess that worked.
Which, again, the music in Black and White.
Well, everyone knows the Black and White music, or the Driftville City.
Everyone knows that one.
The weekly time for math rocks. Yeah.
Yeah. That's so good. Alright.
This is such a cursed episode.
No.
Moving on, then you finally get to, you kind of take a bit of a break before you go to the bridge between that city and the other one.
That city and the other one?
The city where Drayton is, and the city where the Ice-type gym leader is. I can't remember the names of them.
I don't know, but that was awesome. That was the best description ever, dude.
You take the bridge, it's on the top left of the map.
It goes from here to there.
I hate myself. I only have me to blame for that one. I can't call dumb. I can't yell at you for saying something weird. That's just all me, bro. That's just good old fashioned stupid right
that
there.
Was good. That
I
was
can't even
awesome.
refute that.
It goes from here to there.
No, but the Shadow Triad corners you, and I think that's really what cues you in. Well, Chargestone Cave, they show up too.
Yes.
They just appear out of nowhere, and they're like, hey, we're gonna jump you now.
I love the Shadow Triad. Like,
they're like kind of terrifying.
Yeah, they kind of give you that. I don't know. Black and White really kind of nailed it with that. Like, I kind of complain about it all the time with the modern Pokemon games not being, but Black and White kind of nailed that perfect level of like intensity. You know.
Yeah, it really did. Black and White too, especially. But the Shadow Triad really makes you realize that Oh.
They're going to kill me.
Like, it's the first game, other than, like, Cyrus threatening to unmake you into atoms.
Yeah.
And you kind of get the vibe that Cyrus is insane. The moment ninjas show up and corner you and tell you, stop or we're gonna kill you, that's a little intense.
Yeah. And then, like...
But then you go into the next town where either Iris or... I want to call him Drayton, but that's the Scarlet and Violet character. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Big mustache man, the black and white dragons in the gym, the gym puzzle.
He makes me think of a lumberjack.
Yeah, you know who I'm talking about. Anyways, they steal either the black or the white orb from their house because, again, the gym leader and Iris live in the same house, I think, because isn't Iris his, like, granddaughter?
Yeah, and they're the...
They're the keepers of the black orb.
Yeah, it's the lineage.
The black stone and the white stone and, like, the people who have to do with Reshiram and Zekrom. I don't know. It felt
keepers
like they
of
were...
the lore.
Yeah, it really felt like they were trying to do Ruby Sapphire bit again.
Kind of, but it felt a little like they put a...
they fixed a lot of that in black and white, too.
Felt like they were putting a diamond and pearl spin on it, where it's like...
The lustrous and the Griseous orb.
Yeah, where, it kind of just gives it that different vibe of, like... The family lineage has been watching over this for generations.
That's true. I do like that bit of it. And it's a whole thing. Then, finally, this is where Black and White really shone through. Because you actually do have side quests involving almost every gym leader in that game. You aren't just, like, battling them via gym. They do give you time to actually speak with almost every gym leader. Silent you talk with and you get the monkeys from, so you remember him because you have to get your first monkey to help beat. Yeah. And you kind of meet them and they talk with you. And then Lenora, you help get her fossil back because they stole from her museum.
Yeah.
You go to Berg, and Berg is like helping you stop the Team Plasma from trying to forcibly release everyone's Pokemon. Oh my god, I almost forgot. Prior to the Elite Four, in Relic Castle, the champion is talking to Gestus. And this is where Gestus is like, you couldn't stop me if you wanted to. Good luck. And he says that to the champion of the region. Do you know how much of a power move that is? Because Cynthia's around in Platinum, but Cyrus doesn't even pick a fight with Cynthia. Gestus goes... and walks off to the most powerful man in the region. That's impressive for any of the characters.
Be fair, when you battle Getsus, I mean, he is pretty fucking strong, so...
Oh, he's got a good team. And
I don't think he was bluffing.
No, not at all. And so, right, Berg, you help out. Elsa, you actually don't do too much with her. She's the one where you run into N and the Ferris wheel there. But then you go to Driftvale and Clay offers to shoot them with you and hands you a gun. So now you can both shoot. You're Danny DeVito.
So anyway, I started blasting.
Exactly. You go up to Skyla's gym and help her get out of Chargestone Cave. This is such a bad episode.
Nothing is going well.
No, it's not. You go and you help Skyla and you figure that out. You go up the tower. Oh, yeah, you go up the tower with Skyla and then Bryson, the Ice-type gym leader there. And you try to stop N from playing Dragon Tales, I guess.
Stop N from playing Dragon Tales.
I won't lie. N's story is very much just Dragon Tales, Dragon Tales.
I think of it more like the Never-Ending Story. You know?
Oh, with Falcor.
Yeah, he's just going, and he goes and lives a happy life with his magical dragon.
Or Puff the Magic Dragon. That's N's story. Yeah. It's really just friendly dragon, and it's like the most terrifying legendaries to date. I'd almost argue. Besides, well, Diamond and Pearl did a good job with it, but
yeah, no, I mean, I still think Arceus is like the worst one to try and stare down.
Yeah,
that's our creator.
Which Cyrus doesn't even realize that's the key to recreating the universe, which is really interesting. We'll talk about that more when we get to...
Run back to Volo,
we also have, believe it or not... Right, back to the Elite Four. You run into Gestus. And Gestus' team, I don't know if you've ever noticed this. Not only does he have the opposing legendary dragon, you run into N, and then Gestus is like, "You failure! I was going to rule the world!" And N's like, Dad?
Yep. Gestus finally reveals his plan.
Yeah, Gestus is evil as fuck. And the giant castle where all the gym leaders actively show up that you help throughout the game. And that was the point I was going through with all the side quests about the gym leaders. You go on a side quest with all of them, and then all of them show up at N's castle and battle alongside you to, like, help clear it out. It's really cool. I gotta give Black and White props for that. The penultimate moment of the story is actually after the Elite Four, and the champion battle is against the villain, and you're battling against them with all the gym leaders. It's really cool. It's actually...
That's sick.
It's a really cool story moment. It's peak.
See, Black and White did a lot of things right, and the villains are one of those things. I think that Team Plasma and Getsus were so well executed. They were written well. Mm-hmm. Their lines are good. Their designs are good, even.
Yeah. And that final moment of Gestus revealing, and then you defeat them, and the Seven Sages disband, and then you spend the post-game is catching all of the Seven Sages with Looker. Now, some come quietly, and you later learn in Black and White 2. Now, Black and White 2, you're introduced again to Team Plasma.
Yep.
But you know that the past has happened because Charon and Bianca are here, and Bianca's helping Professor Juniper as her full-time assistant, and Charon's the first gym leader. And
I was proud of my boy for that.
I was too. Good on him.
Proud of my boy.
And you're like, okay, you start in a whole new town, whole new different game opening. There's a new second gym leader as well because Silent, Chile, and Crest retired. Lenora passed it on to Charon. You're like, cool. This is really interesting. Especially
it was the same map, and it felt like a new world. Like I said, I didn't play Black and White when they first released, but I watched playthroughs, and that's what made me play Black and White 2.
And Black and White 2 was a whole different game.
And Team Plasma had, like...
And you find out that Team Plasma stole Hugh's Leopard, and that's why he fucking hates them.
Yeah.
And you chase them down, and then you're working your way through the game. You go through Roxy's gym, and you're like, okay, not much else happens with Team Plasma until you go to Castelia City. And Team Plasma's back, but they're down in the sewers, and you meet this researcher. This really cool researcher working in the sewers. And he's got a crest for a head. A man I love, Chorus.
Everybody's second favorite twink.
Nah, Chorus is more that, like, Bruce Banner type.
Especially, he kind of reminds me of Bill Bixby's Bruce Banner.
Yeah.
Especially because I loved the 70s show when I was a kid.
The experimental scientist. And he's real chill with you, too. After coming off and expecting Gestus and, like, this evil villainry, Chorus is like, hey, dude.
He just was that guy, kind of.
Yeah, he was him. Unlike Cyrus, Chorus was actually...
Yeah, I mean... And he had, like, the intelligence to back it up, He
wasn't full of shit.
No, I don't know, he like, carried an error. He had, like, arrogance, but he was, like, justifiable. He would back it up.
Yeah, Chorus really never lied to you.
He was able to back up the checks he would write, you know what
I mean? He would be like, I'm researching how to make Pokemon stronger, and Team Plasma funds my research.
Simple as...
Yeah, and you're like...
Word.
Fair and reasonable, I guess. And you really don't think you're going to see Chorus again, except he's kind of one of the most important pieces of the game.
You battle him a few times, don't you?
Uh-huh. Because Chorus is also just, like, he's kind of your friend. Because he just shows up at random points in the story and it's like, hey, dude, how's it going?
What it is.
You doing all right? Hey, yeah, I'm on my way to do some stuff. But
said I've got some important work to do.
But you know, I enjoyed our battle together. Let's battle again. He's like, because he's curious.
He's like the older brother you didn't ask for.
Yeah, and he shows up, and I would argue Chorus is a better rival than your rival in that game.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
When you run into Chorus, you're intrigued by him, and he's intrigued by you. He's studying how to make Pokemon stronger, and as you battle him every time, he decides, maybe there's something more to this. I'm going to keep researching you. And he's honest about it. He doesn't say, like, oh, I want to be your best friend. He's like, I kind of want to see...
show me where you're going. Show me what you got.
Yeah. Show me the path you're going to take, because that interests me. He's straightforward, honest, and to the point. And it's such a dichotomy from Gestus, too. And then
when he shows up later in the game, he's pretty fucking peak, too.
It really is. And then you run into a lot of the interesting differences with Black and White, too.
Yeah.
Because you make it out of Nimbasa over the bridge into Driftvale, and you find N. And N's like, hey, here's Neo
He's got
Team
PTSD now.
Yeah, he's like, my dad doesn't love me anymore. Here's my uncle. He was allowed out of jail by Looker. I'm rescuing Pokemon from Team Plasma and guess this is evil plan. My dad was pretty mean to me.
I hate how accurate that is. Yes.
Yeah, for real, though. And then Neo Team Plasma tries to help you stop them. And as you go through the game, you keep running into Chorus and Neo Team Plasma. And then finally, you get back to Iris's city, her gym. And then they're like, hey, we have Kiram. Well, actually, you go down into the ice chasm, yeah. Glacial chasm. And they, like, catch Kiram. They get the legendary, which is something that...
I think that's the first time they've...
Well,
unless you want to count Ruby and Sapphire.
Well, Black and White and then Gestus got the legendaries.
That's true, too. Black and White, unless you want to count Ruby and Sapphire, are the first time you really see them, like, kind of succeed at first, you know?
Yeah, they
Don't get me wrong, Diamond and Pearl, in Platinum, he summons them.
Well, he gets the
but he loses
but
control.
He doesn't get the box art legendary. That's the thing.
Yeah, he doesn't control. He can't control them. That's what the red chain's supposed to be for, and it fails miserably.
It doesn't work.
Getsus and actually succeed in retrieving the dragons, and
I love the fact that N still has the dragon that's not in your game.
Yeah,
I think that's a really cool bit and piece. And
it explains why you can't get the other one.
It does. And then you go down into Glacial Chasm and they capture Kiram, and they have Zekrom because Gestus still has the other one, and they DNA splice them together, they lock it away, and they put it in a giant ship, the Plasma Frigate.
They freeze the city.
They freeze the city solid, and you're like...
Man, that scene goes hard.
It goes so hard.
Even to this day, it holds up on DS graphics.
Yeah. Well, like, they blew up Lake Valor in Diamond and Pearl, but it was a lake you'd never been to.
Yeah, no, so you're like, what the frickin' hell?
You're like, everything's...
Assuming you've played through Black and White 1 even, you're like, you're really hit
They
with a
didn't
shot.
destroy the city. Like
they 1-2 punched you in fucking Black and White 2, you know?
Yeah, don't get me wrong, but the castle rises out of the back of the ground.
Oh, yeah.
But besides the point, you have to, like, stop Gestus and Team Plasma from freezing over the entire world. Again, Gestus' plan is working.
And
again.
A madman. True madman.
I will say, out of all of them...
I have to rank him really high up.
Gestus, I think, got the closest out of all... Well,
he nearly
Lysander
succeeds.
is a near second.
Yeah, and we'll get into that here in a moment.
But Gestus really did do well. They do a great job of making you think he's about to win.
Yes, absolutely.
I think that was such a fun part of Black and White.
It made the tension feel very
tangible.
Very tangible. Yeah, palpable is a good word.
Suddenly you were a lot more aware
of the situation you were in. I mean, it's, as a kid, you're like, fuck, this is real, I gotta go.
Yeah, like cities being destroyed, everything's frozen over, people are trapped in ice and in their houses.
Like other Pokemon games, when you're doing the story, you're like, whatever. The world's ending,
Yeah.
I'll get to it in a second. I gotta go fucking grind out some levels on my Monferno.
But actually seeing it happen
and being thrust in the middle of it, you're like, oh shit! It gives you that sense of urgency.
Yeah, it does a great job with the urgency. And Gestus, evil motherfucker.
Oh yeah, it just shows his cynical nature. Maniacal.
And then you go aboard the plasma frigate and you battle Chorus again, and you're like. Chorus is like, hey, bud, yeah, I made the weapon, sorry. They paid me. Like,
yeah. He said, what do you think my job was, dude?
He's like, I was trying to draw out Kiram's strength.
It worked. He built the DNA splicer and stuff.
Yeah, he's like, I did the thing. I told you.
He did, in fact. He's like, I tried, did say, I told you.
But he does say at the end, I really don't think this is it.
Yeah.
He goes, I'm gonna be real, I'm kind of done with them. I'm quitting my day job. I'm going somewhere else. You have fun, though. Bye.
Which, it makes it fun to, I don't know, interact with him in other
games, for sure.
Yeah, other titles in the franchise, because I know that he only has a few appearances, but...
He has a major part in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, but that's kind of the end of his villain arc.
Where he's redeemed now, and...
Yeah.
He pulled a Vegeta.
But you also find out a few things about Chorus. Again, there's not too much to talk about him on, but I do want to briefly talk about this, and I, again, can't talk to you because... Actually,
I always thought he was gay.
No, he has to do with ZA spoilers is what I was getting at.
Oh, I was talking about him sucking wiener.
Dylan, how much wiener do you want to suck on a regular basis?
Well, take your pants off and you can find out.
Alright, anyways. I'm not Professor Oak. Don't cheat on your man like that.
Chorus, all in all, is one of my favorite villains introduced in the Pokemon franchise.
I think he's also, like... Gestus is still the major villain. He's still evil as hell.
Absolutely, but Chorus...
He steals the show.
Yeah, no, because we've seen Gestus and we know what he's capable of. Don't get me wrong.
We know what he's about.
Seeing him, like, kind of win again is like, holy shit. And don't get me wrong, he's still one of my favorites. But Chorus does kind of steal the spotlight.
And I think the thing I like about Chorus most... is that, unlike Chorus is very much a foil to N.
Yes.
N is being used by Gestus for the ultimate part of his plan.
Yeah.
Chorus is the only thing holding Gestus' plan together, and he leaves when he wants.
Yeah. Yeah, no, when he says he's done, he just
leaves.
Plasma
he gives you the DNA
apart.
splicers and leaves. And Plasma loses. And Gestus can't really do anything about it. Like, yeah, you stop him with N, which another thing I want to point out about Gestus and how he truly never did trust N. Did you notice his entire team is meant to counter N's? Yep. The entire thing is meant to deal with it, which is just wild, and I think it's such a cool little...
I'm glad you brought that up, because I, probably would not have if you didn't.
It's a whole thing of, like, Gestus really is the true evil manipulator. Mm-hmm. Moving on, though.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye. Have a beautiful time.
Have a beautiful time. And then, right. So we end with Lysander, and we go on.
It would be funny if the video ended right there.
Well, that's where part 1 ends.
Okay, perfect.
Bye. All right. Cutting into part 2.